Hi Rainbow Room. Okay, so today we're gonna read another story about, upside down, about our theme, transportation, and how things work. So in order for different transportations to take you from one place to another and to do their job, they have to work. And just like we've been reading about the Wright brothers and how they created their own bicycle company and then the airplane, and then how we read earlier this week about boats. In order for all of those things to work, inventors, engineers, scientists have to make sure that every part in their mean of transportation works. And how they do that is by asking questions like how? How does that work? Why does that work? So the story we're going to read today is about wheels and axles. Now wheels, just in the cover, there's a skateboard. That is a means of transportation. It can take you from one place to another. There's also wheels on cars, trucks. There's wheels on some airplanes because when they land, they need to pull out wheels so that way when the airplane lands, it doesn't just smash into the floor. So wheels are very important, and then we're gonna cover axles. So let's see. Wheels and Axles by Andrea Rivera. And I will hold up the picture in front of the camera so that way you can see the illustration. All right, it's gonna start off with science. A wheel and axle is a simple machine. It has two main parts. The axle often looks like a rod. It has a wheel or wheels at the end. So this connecting rod is called the axle. And then each side has a wheel. And this is how a wheel looked for a carriage when they first started using the wheel. As you can see, the wheel has no tire on it. It's just a metal rod. The wheel and axle turn together. They help people move loads. So you can see right here, this axle is connected to this wheel right there. And they have little different screws and metal pieces to connect it. And it helps people. For example, right here, she has a large load of sticks. And if she had to carry it by hand, it would take her much longer than if she loaded it up onto this axle and wheels and just pushed it on to wherever it is she needs to take it to. The recycling bin, or maybe she's making a castle. Technology. Wheels and axles give a mechanical advantage. They make it easier for people to move heavy objects. So as you can see, this man is carrying this humongous load. But if he didn't have this I forgot what these are called, but you see how we have the axle and the wheels? It's like a crane. And if he didn't have this, he could not carry all of these pieces of furniture by himself. Because he cannot. Look how much bigger it is from his actual size. It would take a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and even if he could carry it, he probably wouldn't be able to walk with it. So with the help of wheels and this axle and this rod right here, he can lean it and all the weight gets put on the wheels instead of being put on him. So that way he just pulls it, and it's still kind of heavy, but all the weight is not being on him to squish him. It's on the wheels. All right, let's move on. Wagons use wheels. Pulling the handle supplies force. Force turns the wheels. It makes them roll. This helps move the wagon load. So you use force to grab the handle and pull it, and then that same force helps move these wheels in the direction of the handle. Engineering. Cars use wheels and axles. A car has 4 wheels. 2 axles connect them. See, this is the side of a car, so you see 2 wheels, and then on the other side it has another 2 wheels. And then right in here, you can see the axles that connect the wheel. The car's engine provides a force that turns the axle. So you see this picture, it's kind of, you can see through the car. So the engine provides all the force, just like in a wagon, when you pull the handle, it provides all the force, and that same force is used for the wheels so they can rotate, and it pushes the car forward. The axle turns the wheels, and the wheels move the car. Art. Pottery wheels were invented thousands of years ago. A potter puts clay on a wheel, and the wheel and axle turn. This helps make clay bowls and vases. So the wheels and axles are not only used for transportation. As you can see here, they use it in art. If you've ever done pottery like this with clay, it almost looks like a round table, and it has a wheel underneath it and an axle that makes it rotate and spin around and around and around. So when you hold the clay, and even if you just touch the clay a little, it'll start molding it, and that's how they can make the shapes for these vases. Math. An axle might be shaped like a thin cylinder. A wheel is a circle. Its round shape allows it to rotate. The rolling wheel makes work easier. All right, doorknobs, clock parts, and bicycle wheels are all examples of wheels and axles. In a doorknob, the axle goes through a hole in the door. The doorknob is the wheel. Turning it moves the axles. It opens the door. So you see, if we think about the doorknob as a wheel, it turns the axle, which is this part right there that locks the door. And when you move it, it moves the axle to open the door. Ancient people used wheels and axles to help them move things. They've been using wheels and axles for a very, very long time. Alrighty, friends. That is the end of our story. If you have any questions about wheels or axles, or if you're outside on a walk, or you go to your front yard or your garage, and you can look at your bicycle and see if you can point out where the wheel and where the axle is. And also in your car, if you're outside in your front yard or your backyard and your car is just parked there, you can take a look underneath. See if you can see where the wheel and the axle connects. And if you can ask someone to help you take a picture of it, or you can draw it yourself and then show Teacher Peter and I. All right, friends, have a great day.